Hello and welcome to Access Paranormal. My name's Jamie Williams. Joining me in studio, we've got my co-host Jonathan Sullivan.
Hello, Jamie.
And we've also got my partner in crime, Marie Spriggs.
Hello.
Now, we're not in a studio that we're usually in, is it? Which is usually an unusual one. We are now in a professional podcast studio.
PodCafe.
PodCafe. I know, very posh, isn't it? But we're gonna have to put some pictures up on the Facebook page because this is absolutely incredible. Roy Basnett and his partner in the business, that is Claire, and it's looking absolutely fantastic. This is the first time we've ever been here, the first show ever to be recorded in here, so it's an absolute privilege to be here. So remember, everybody, PodCafe, get on and have a look at it. It's amazing. So anyway, back to the show, which is really strange. It's a very unusual feeling, this, isn't it? Because we're usually sitting here with sweets on the table, we use crisps and everything, drinks and everything else. Tonight, it's way professional.
Now,
Jonathan, when am I ever professional? I'm never professional.
Never.
I know, yeah. Hey, that's the way it is with me, isn't it? You get what you get. We've got to talk about last week. We went out with Haunted Scouse. We went over to the Grosvenor Ballroom over there on Wallasey.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
What a night.
Really enjoyed it. What did you think of it? Well, I'll go to Marie because I'm talking straight to Jonathan there. Marie's here as well. And you enjoyed the night as well, didn't you?
Well, it was the first time I was actually there. I think you've seen it before, you two,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
So stepping in and seeing everybody, but walking into that hall, wow, it was
Stunning.
a magnificent place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And all the different areas you can go to, little sneaky ways down, things like that. But it was a good place to do an invest.
It's sitting, and the funny thing is we've been there before. We know what it's like. Marie goes, "Do you want to go down the prison cells?" "Yeah, I'll go on my own." Again.
Isn't it?
What was that?
Off she popped.
I know.
Yeah, but
With Tascam in her hand, the way she went.
well, they said that there's a man down there, isn't he? And he's quite aggressive. And I thought, right, I'm going down, get some action down here.
That does not sound right, does it? But when you were down there,
Imagination of the
yeah. But when you went down there, I mean,
Yes.
we went down with you first, and we had a quick nose around. We had a walkabout and everything. And when we went down there, we were going, "Oh, I remember this, I remember that."
Yeah,
There's no way I'm coming down here on my own. And Marie went, "I'm staying."
I'm staying.
So
Yeah,
she came back up again, got all the equipment, and went down.
I did. I didn't even know really what was down there. But the funny part of it all was, because of the light coming from the landing, I could actually see the second room, something like that.
Yeah.
As I turned round, I had to stop at the doorway, where the doorway would be, because the floor felt it's on like a bubble wrap, isn't it? You can feel it and hear it going.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking in there, I couldn't step any further because I didn't know if I was going across anything uneven or anything. So we had to turn my torch on it. It was that pitch black. It was unreal. I couldn't feel anything. And as you know, they are doing the place up.
Yeah.
So there was a little, you had to watch where your feet were going.
Yeah. It didn't work for me, did it?
Wasn't it flooded?
It was.
Yeah.
So I remember when me and Jamie first went, quite a few years
Oh,
ago.
that was must be about 5-6 years ago now.
Yeah, and they were just starting to do them rooms up.
And it looked incredible, didn't it?
Looked
Yeah.
amazing,
But going back to Marie, when you went on your own, we done a little bit of a video to trial and error, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were watching it back the other night. Remember when we were watching it? And what did we see? We saw
We saw a couple of orbs and things what we couldn't explain, really, couldn't we?
no.
So,
Really bright.
and we didn't know. I didn't see him on the night when I was there. I felt the room going dark towards the end. I mean, blacker than black, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And apparently that's when it was all starting. So it was a good one. But I didn't get left alone long enough, did I?
No.
I kept getting people coming in, out and everything. But it was great because we had a Haunted Scouse there coming down, doing a health and safety with these people who we had in the public who came in. So it was really a great time.
And then lovely people as well. And we ended up in, was it the dance room we went into? And at first it was quite calm in there. It was relaxed and everything. But then it changed.
Yeah.
Just suddenly changed. And we were getting weird things happening, and you could feel as if there was something next to you. We had I can't remember what it's called on the phone. What we had on
Oh, the
the
test,
Spirit Talker.
Spirit
Spirit
Talker.
Talk. We'd done an experiment with that, didn't we? Where there was me, yourself, and Mike, who was with our group, all putting the Spirit Talkers on, and we were getting like similarities.
Similar words, man.
Yeah.
But they were
Yeah,
all sorts of
definitely.
joining up as well.
Yeah.
Into like little sentences.
And that was the thing, wasn't it? That's what was happening, is they were working with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
And then what's the name? We just moved from there. We went into the main
It's the
ballroom.
main ballroom, yeah. That was really good.
That was very
That was-
good. You had footsteps in you, Marie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, I
Mm.
can't debunk it really. We tried to.
Yeah.
So as you see on the video, or as you can see on the listen on the audio, you'll actually hear us trying to debunk it and going off. But nothing,
Just
no matter
couldn't do
what we did, bounce, walk differently. I had you going back into a few times, didn't I,
Yeah,
Jonathan?
that's it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was the footsteps near the door, wasn't it?
It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Mike was sitting there
Yeah.
well opposite. Yeah.
But the beams
And
were running
we-
in the opposite
yeah.
direction,
Yeah.
so it's not as if
Yeah.
somebody could stand on it to
Yeah.
move it or anything like that. But it was quite a few footsteps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then it stopped, and within about, 10 seconds, a few more footsteps, and I thought, hey, what's going on here?
And we did check. We checked with Adam and we checked with Chris about where they were,
Yeah, where they were.
and there was no way they could
I think
interfere with it.
weren't they up in the studio upstairs where the big mirror was?
Yeah.
And then there was a group down.
Down.
Down
So,
in the
cells.
so
prison
they weren't
cells, yeah.
nowhere near us, were they?
No. So
No.
that was interesting.
Yeah.
And then the cat balls going off,
Cat
Yeah.
balls going
and there was
off.
no explanation for that.
And didn't you get a big flash of light as well?
Oh, I got a flash of light going across the floor,
Oh, yeah,
straight in
yeah.
front of me.
That's right.
So I was hoping the cameras would pick it up.
Yeah.
But I realised when we were playing it back, the camera was on the opposite side of the room.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's right, yeah.
So, but Mike was there, and he was quite, not spooked, but he was quite nervy about what was going
Yeah.
on with us, wasn't he, when he went
Yeah.
back through later, telling the rest of his group.
Yeah.
So I mean, Chris and Adams, they had good stuff happening to them as
They
well. And they come up and asked us, didn't he, about the Big Bang?
Yeah.
Which, well, it was Marie, wasn't it? Shutting that door. I think everybody in the building nearly themselves that night, didn't they?
Everyone in Wallasey.
But I've got to say though, we've got to say thank you to Chris and Adam of Haunted Scouts for
Yeah.
inviting us along and doing that.
Yeah.
And the public that came in, they were great
Lovely.
with us, and
Yeah.
wasn't they? Great
So
to go on the
welcoming,
radio
yeah.
and everything. So
Food,
thank
drinks,
you, everyone.
everything. Yeah.
I know.
So yeah, the ballroom over there, the Grosvenor Ballroom,
That's right.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
The other one we've got to go back to, we went a few weeks back and we're going back again, is, how do you say it? Llanfillin? We can never say it.
Llanfillin.
Llanfillin
Is it?
Workhouse over there
That's
in
our
North
way
Wales.
of doing it.
Absolutely amazing. What?
It's the workhouse in Wales.
Yeah, just call it the workhouse in Wales. We're not doing justice
easier.
to this, are we, at all, with this Welsh talk?
I wouldn't mind, but I'm part Welsh, aren't I?
Yeah.
You should know
What
this.
went wrong?
Hey? We moved.
Yeah.
That was my
Young
ancestors.
age.
They were my ancestors. They were from
Yeah.
Holywell, so I've got an excuse. But going back there, I mean, we spent the night there, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it was spectacular.
It
The
was,
building
brilliant.
was
Yeah.
huge.
Oh,
And when you
so
say
big.
huge, there was 4 sections to it.
Yeah.
There was the ladies, the gents, the boys, and the girls, and that's where they all
Yeah.
were segregated, weren't they?
But they were all in the middle, was the masters.
Masters room.
And
Yeah.
he had was it like an octagon shaped room or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
And he could see at
Out of
every
each
angle
window.
of where
Yeah.
everybody was, and he could keep his
Yeah.
eye on
Especially when
everyone.
they were in the gardens.
Definitely,
And they were
yeah.
working away down
So it
there.
was quite. I always got an eye on you, what didn't they?
Oh yeah.
They couldn't step out of line or anything.
No, I'm like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it. I'm not pointing to anyone in particular, like Jonathan.
It's got a hexagon room.
How big do you think I am? But that night, there was lots of people there, and we were sleeping over, and
Yeah.
but the whole night was good fun, wasn't it?
It was
You know,
good.
you've done the human pendulum.
In the
Yeah.
time.
I have my own opinions
Yeah,
about
so
the human pendulum.
I think we went across that, didn't we, on last audio?
Yeah.
We talked about that one. So you'll hear about that again in next week, I think, possibly
show,
about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you
you'll
listen to
hear
the radio show, Access Paranormal Radio podcast on lt5radio.co.uk.
That's right, yeah.
I'll be up soon. You'll see
Jamie
posters
doesn't
and
like
everything.
human pendulum, though, do you?
No.
Do you know what, though? It was really good.
It was. I was surprised
So
because
was I.
Yeah, I really was.
Well, you
So
absolutely.
listening to us on Sunday. And also remember you can get us on Facebook at Access Paranormal 01 for our webpage, and go forward from there, and you'll follow the links from there.
And follow us on YouTube. Or else.
And we'll be having videos coming up.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've got
definitely videos.
Watch this space.
This one's up there.
This one will be on there.
This one's up there. That's why they're watching it.
Yeah, watch this.
There'll be more to come.
Yeah. So going back to the workhouse, it was so cold in that workhouse. I think it was -1 or -2.
I'm not surprised.
Just don't mention the cold.
The cold, it was bad, because we have to mention it. It was.
Well, John still got ice on his ears. That's just great.
It took us
Still
ages to thaw out,
icicles.
didn't it? Yeah, it was that cold. We decided to sleep in the car.
We
but-
slept in Jonathan's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But every door was open, because when we was go try and get our heads down, which was about 3 o'clock in the morning, there was still some walking round. But he had to go round and shut every single door. I thought anybody, I know we was in the middle of Wales and it was just a countryside road, but anybody could have come in off the road and just walked into the bedrooms and walked through, because no doors were shut behind him.
But
So
the only thing was, we'd have all thought it was a ghost.
Do you know what I don't think helped though? I don't think it helped that the heaters never worked.
you know,
And you walk into that other
unfortunately,
bunk room. It was like a sword.
I know.
so we know next time we're heading for
We're
that
going
room.
there. We'll get there about 3 hours earlier than them.
And
getting
we're
there.
getting our bunks
Yeah,
quick and
definitely.
claiming them.
And we're bringing that teddy bear cover.
Yeah.
I think they're called teddy bear quilt covers, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Lifesaver.
Amazing. But we've got to go to the library up there.
The library was
The
amazing.
three of us were in that
That
library.
was unbelievable.
And for that table to move the way it did, no
Yeah.
one was on it.
It
Heavy
just
table.
Can't
lifted
explain
away
Yeah.
from my arm,
Yeah.
resting
Yeah.
on it, and it just moved away, tilted.
right.
I mean, it's a big farmhouse table, them big round
I mean,
ones, isn't it?
God, yeah.
It's solid.
I think I was on it like that.
Yeah.
Just with
Uh,
my hands just lightly
Well,
on
I
it.
was
Yeah.
like
And you
that.
were like that,
But
weren't
it
you?
just
but I
moved
had
from
my hands in my
underneath.
pockets. I'd
Yeah.
done that and put my hands in my
that's
pockets
right,
because my hands were like ice, weren't they?
So
Yeah.
that was another thing. So
Yeah.
they can listen in on that, and how that went.
And you saw what you think you saw was
I
a
saw
figure.
the figure
Yeah.
in the what was called the men's room, wasn't it?
Mm.
The
Right,
designer
yeah,
room.
yeah,
Down
yeah.
here, yeah.
That went across from a window to just a blank wall
Mm.
when we
There
looked.
was nowhere for it to go, was there?
Oh,
No.
didn't someone else see something in there?
Yeah,
Yes.
Paul's friend was his name Mike?
I can't
I
remember.
can't, no, I
to
can't
be
remember.
fair.
But he came down, didn't he? He said, "Oh, I saw an apparition here." And it was
Yeah.
exactly the same place as what
Same place.
you seen as well.
So that's good going, isn't it?
So,
So I highly
Yeah.
recommend that. And again, we've got to say thank you to Paul Smales and his
We
team
have.
yeah.
from Haunted Buildings UK who
Yeah.
were kind enough to get us to go along, and we'll be
Can't
going
believe
back.
you remembered all that in one go.
You told me to act professional, so I'm being professional.
So you can do it, can't you?
Yeah, well, you know, either you've got it or you haven't, Jonathan, and you haven't.
Whatever.
Do you know what I can't do? Not with my answers. Usually sweet here when
Yeah,
you're talking.
you
I
look
can
at the
throw a
sweets because we
sweetie
usually get the
Yeah.
tangiest ones,
Yeah.
because so we can see everybody's faces cringing
Oh,
with the
I
tang,
know.
don't we?
Yeah.
And we're just going for that, and then we have to watch each one of us.
I had some as well, I forgot them.
Good.
I bought, some fiery
Oh yeah.
gobstoppers.
Ah,
Oh no.
Just to see if it-
Gobstopper, what are you trying to say?
well,
Just see if it shut you up.
And we've got to talk about Mill Street Barracks.
yes.
What the stuff we've had there and
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that. You know, I mean, it's one of our places.
You
And
know-
Roy Basnett,
Yeah.
who is partner in this PodCafe. PodCafe,
Yeah.
as Roy said. We've been instructed PodCafe.
Yeah.
Okay. And Roy's been there as well. And there was one time when we were there with our group, Ghost Quest Paranormal Liverpool. We were in the cellars,
In the middle.
in the
room.
middle room, what they call Claire's room now.
Yeah.
And we were all there. There was Jane, Roy's wife, and our group. I'm not going to mention names in case I miss anybody else out. Otherwise,
you'll be done for
you know what
if you missed
I'll be-
everyone.
You'll
I'll
in
be
trouble.
slaughtered, yeah. And we were all in there, and we were calling out and everything else. And suddenly, out of nowhere, do you remember it, Jonathan? You weren't there.
I
then, were
wasn't
you?
there.
Do you remember it, Jonathan, when that pure white light shot up from the floor upwards? Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Who missed it?
Does Roy remember it?
Was it
No,
you
Roy.
that missed it?
No, Roy.
Oh, no.
He had
It's
his back.
usually you.
He had his back
I
to
know.
us, facing the room I don't like, the
No.
wall. He completely missed it, but everyone saw it, and that's one of the best nights we had. And then our podcast night, I was interviewing Dark Territory, Sean Kennett.
Sean.
That was the most frightening night I ever had.
Was that the one when you was on your own?
I was
and
on
you
my own, and everything.
He come into me and he goes, "That was terrifying. I don't want to go back there on my own."
It was that's how I got you in.
I remember him phoning me.
Yeah.
Do you fancy coming in and doing the podcast with me?
Yeah.
Didn't tell me why.
There's desperation and there's
Till I got
desperation.
there. Yeah. Till I got there.
Till you got there.
Won't come in here on my own.
Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Because that night I had the door open on me.
Yeah.
I had the window rattle. I know it's perspex, but the window rattle.
Yeah, but the window's not on an outside wall. It's
no,
inside.
it's inside. We're upstairs as you go up the stairs on the balcony.
It's got no breeze sort of thing for that.
There's no way anything else done that. And then I was talking to Sean, interviewing Sean, and then he heard voices down in the main hall.
You was going to go home, and Sean's telling you, no, stay.
no, Jamie, you're staying. You're the, And I said, it's all right for you, Sean. You're at home.
He was right in what he said, though.
Yeah, that's what
did
you were
say
there
to
for.
You're a paranormal investigator.
Yeah, but Jonathan,
why are you going to go?
Would you stay there on your own?
Yes, I would.
That's
Jonathan, you do not throw your voice then.
Listen, that's beside the point. Let's not mention that. Let's just mention that he said you're a paranormal investigator. You've got to stay. That's what you're there for.
No, the point is, I stayed. Would you have stayed?
I told you. It's not the point. I might have.
Marie would have been there all night trying to work it all out, but me.
I'm going to say I would have stayed.
And I know you're lying.
No, I would have. I'd have just been froze to the chair. I'd have still been there now.
Oh, you get usually little eyes going like, I don't know what's going on.
That night, and then the funniest part is I'd finished the show. It was like 3:00 in the morning, and I'm thinking I've got to get out of this building now on my own.
Oh yeah.
And I went across that floor like Linford Christie. Gets to me car, locks everything up like that. Bye. It's only me. I'm going now. You know the way I do it.
Yeah.
Gets in me car and I went, my phone. I've left my phone in the studio. I went sick to the point that I thought, do we go home and pick it up tomorrow, or do we just go and get it? And I thought,
I just got home.
I'll have to go back and get it, because I would have forgot about it the next day as well. So I thought, right, okay. Plucked up the courage, opened the doors, turned the alarms off, went back up to there, and I'm going, Tony, mate, I'm sorry, I left my phone. Talking to thin air, but after that night, I wasn't talking to them. I was talking to them. Gets into the studio, grabs my phone, locks up, gets across the floor and halfway. Well, I'd almost got to the other side of it. Why didn't they turn the lights on?
It's like one of them horror films. Why are you going down the cellar when the lights, just flick the light on?
Yeah, like a bad horror movie.
It is, and you just did it to yourself.
Yeah, but when you think about it, your mind's just thinking, I need to get my phone. I've got to get across that room. You don't think about the lights that are just there on your right-hand side.
I would. Yeah. Be the first thing I'd do.
You just wouldn't go in. You said that before.
No, if I'd left my phone, I'd probably leave it till the next day. But if it needs it, I'd have turned every single light on in that building.
If you'd remembered.
No,
well, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. There's no evidence of that, Jonathan Sullivan.
No, I would have done.
I don't know.
Going back to Mill Street.
Yeah, the other one was one night we were interviewing a group.
Okay.
And they went off on their little ghost hunt, didn't they? And we were sitting in the studio and we were just chatting away. And this fella walks past, clear as anything, walks past, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So we all seen him and I went like that to Jonathan. I said, we're going to have to go quiet. We're going to have to stop recording and everything now until they've finished. Which we did, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
So we're in the studio like that. And next minute, on the door, hiya, are we all right to do an invest up here? I said, yeah. I said, one of your lads is in that room there. Yeah. And he went, is he? I said, yeah. I said, he went in about 10 minutes ago. I said, he was like, he went in on his own. He went, we're all downstairs. He said, we're all accounted for. We're all downstairs. Yeah.
And there wasn't many of them, was there?
No, there was only me and you and Lee. Yeah. And we all looked at each other and went, no, one of them's just gone past there. Yeah. So we went and had a check, didn't we? And there was no one in that room.
We've definitely seen someone walking past.
100% somebody walked past that room that night. And there's no way that was anybody then. No. If he said we're all downstairs, and he actually said, look, they're all down there. Yeah. We just knocked to say. He said to me, didn't he? He did say, to let you know when we're coming up here so you can stop recording.
Yeah.
And I was like, that.
Mhm.
We stopped about 10, 15 minutes ago.
Can
And I
be.
think the funniest one was, you know, I can do 3D audio, which we put out every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one of the door open. You know, never told him. And I turned it on, didn't I? And he's got his back to the door. And you know what the 3D audio, you've heard it, and
Yeah.
listeners have heard it. And he's just sitting there yapping away, and next minute you hear the door. Well, he nearly fell off his chair.
I bloody jumped.
It was the funniest moment I've seen with him.
Laughing his head off.
I can well imagine.
And he went, what was that? And I said, I was just testing the 3D audio.
Yeah.
It's so real, though, isn't it?
It is.
It's absolutely. Because I mean, when I was on it and you was testing me, and you said something to me, and I goes, "Oh, what, Jamie?" And
Yeah.
it was on. It
Yeah,
was
it
on
was
the
on
end.
you.
I
Yeah.
thought, "Oh, it's straight behind me."
It's
Yeah,
weird.
so it's,
It
yeah,
is.
brilliant.
It's brilliant. And we did do a mock paranormal investigation, and we
We
put it
did.
out. We put it out a few weeks ago
Yeah.
on the radio show. And Emma Flood, who we know, messaged me and said, "Jamie, I've just heard hello in your ear."
yeah.
So we had to contact her. I replied back and said, "Emma, it was a mock one." I said, "It does say,
Yeah.
you know, on the poster that it's not real.
Yeah.
You know, it's a real one." And then there's a mock one afterwards.
Just to give
Oh,
people
right,
the
okay then,
experience
yeah.
of it,
So
wasn't
it showed that it actually worked.
Well, she's a paranormal
And she's an
investigator.
investigator, yeah. And she's a very good one as well. She's a really nice person. And were you going to say something about Mill Street? Yeah.
Yeah, no, we was on about Mill Street, and you was on about the what we've seen there and everything.
Mm.
And you mentioned about, you know, Roy not seeing that one in particular.
Are we picking on Roy now?
No,
Okay.
I've got to pick on you. And there was me and James and you didn't see it
In the hallway.
in the hall, in the London, and you missed the full orb of what me and
Was that
James.
no? Wasn't that in the cellar
it was in the cellar,
Yeah,
isn't it?
in the
The
middle
shadow,
hall,
yeah.
the hallway.
with the shadow? And then I was looking one way.
Jamie, it
Mhm.
was on what I seen at the side. Well, it was first of all, James said to me,
Yeah.
Marie, it's at the side here. So I turned round, looked down, and it's near me, like knee level.
Mm.
It was a big black ball with all sparkles around it, like energy. And from that, we're both watching it, and I'm saying, "Oh, thank you for that. Is there anything more you can show us?" And then the black ball just went into a ball, into a long teardrop.
Mm.
And as it's moving through, it goes whiter and whiter until it finally got to a big white ball and went up under the stairs.
I remember it well.
And that, where was you, Jamie? Looking the other way. And that's the part I was on about when you were on about Roy looking the other way. You was actually missed it all, even though we kept saying it's here and everything.
Let's step back a few frames here, right?
Oh, go on.
If you remember,
Oh, yeah.
I was looking that way and I saw the shadow,
You
and I went
did.
to that shadow's coming towards us here.
Yeah. And it
And then it went down along over the table,
Yeah.
and then went between us.
Straight
and then
through the middle.
That's when I was looking that way, and then it went past you, and you saw the rest of it,
Yeah.
which I missed that part. I get that.
I'm
saw
saying
that.
nothing, mate.
Well,
Shadows coming towards you.
yeah, but you. I remember you going down there to record a show with was it James and Lee?
Was.
And what happened?
Tell you what, that was scary. We were only down there 5 minutes.
Exactly.
We were standing there in the hallway, and we asked for the shadow. And then it normally comes out of that end room, or your favourite room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it did come out,
Yeah.
and it shot straight towards my feet. And at that point, the
Brave
three of
shadow.
us-
Yeah.
three of us turned round, went bye.
Yeah. Well, no.
Lee.
Done the classic, didn't he? Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
And we run out of that
Yeah.
cellar.
And then there's the other cellar. The little
the
cellar.
Little cellar. Wow.
Now that night when we actually recorded that in 3D and we put that out as well.
Yeah.
We put the ball on the chair, the
With
cat
the
ball
toy.
with the toy,
Yeah.
and we went down into the small cellar. We were down there a minute or so.
Yeah.
The next minute you hear the toy come on.
Yeah.
And you could hear it in the voices and
You had
things
to
like that.
press that to make
Yeah.
it come on.
Yeah. And then we heard the ball go boom, 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 boom on the floor.
Funny thing was, the ball was actually in an indent.
That's
Which
right,
was
yeah.
on the chair.
Yeah, on the chair, yeah.
So no way it could have rolled off.
No. There was not a million years that would have rolled off.
No.
Because it was. I remember the indent quite well, and I remember putting it in that so it didn't roll because the chair had like a bit of a nice cushion on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And it was quite a few feet off.
Yeah, it was about 4 or 5 foot, wasn't it, when we went upstairs?
Yeah.
And it was just lying there. We at first we put the torch in where it is, and I said, there it is. There, look.
Yeah.
It was like about 4 or 5 foot away.
Do you ever remember that night when we done a little invest by the
Toilets.
toilets in that bit, and we put the tennis ball on one of the posts,
The
by
white
the
post,
bell, right? And it stayed there. We jumped all around it and everything didn't move.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing our little call out there by the toilets. And next thing we heard,
Yeah,
and it ended up, it was the ball, and it ended up by the kitchen door.
that's right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
you couldn't explain it.
No,
And we tried, didn't we? We tried to put it
we
back
tried.
on
We
again.
put it back, walked around it, stamped on it, and
Yeah,
everything.
and it wouldn't move. And even when we pushed it off, it didn't go that far.
Well, do you remember when we done some filming with Dark Territory? Dark Territory come down, we done an interview with them,
That's right.
and we done a mini invest with them for the show,
Yeah.
and we were talking about the cat balls. And that in that middle room,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
in the main halls, the middle room, you got the kitchen, the middle room, and then the main cellar.
Yeah.
And we put the cat ball in there. We asked for it. Bang! It came on
On demand, wasn't it?
on demand, and even they, I mean, they're very professional.
Yeah, they are.
And even they were walking around the ball, stamping next to it and everything.
Yeah.
And never went off.
Well, Carl wears them big boots, doesn't he?
He
Yeah.
does,
He
yeah.
was stamping his boots
Yeah.
down on the floor.
That's
Did not
Carl.
go off.
That's Carl Hassel, Dark Arts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And he tried it and just couldn't get it to go off.
Trying to
didn't he?
jump on the floor and
Yeah.
everything, wasn't he? To make it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you've got to say, I mean, okay, we're not there at the moment with Middle Street, and we've had some fantastic. That's why we mentioned it, because
Yeah.
a lot of our paranormal experiences have been there.
Yeah.
We've had some fantastic
There's
experiences in there.
loads going on there, isn't
Yeah,
there?
I remember
Yeah.
doing the Halloween special, and we done the record. We had all the microphones all over the place, and we said to Marie, "You do
Go
a lone
down
one
in
near the toilets."
Where everyone's frightened of going.
And I started interviewing someone, I forgot.
I forgot. And what did I pick up? Yeah. In my ear.
Yeah.
The ringing, which I didn't know what it was, and then Jonathan mentioned, was it the bell? And I thought, oh my God. Yeah.
Mhm.
You
And
missed it all.
Yeah.
Mr. Professional.
you missed everything.
Professional
hadn't-
tonight.
You hadn't clicked it over to me.
And,
Expert.
Expert.
excuse me, are you talking about the
Oh,
magazine now?
Yeah, page 18.
Yeah, page 18.
Wait for it.
What was it? What is it?
Fatal
Take a break,
Fortune.
Face of Fortune, page 18, May.
Not that I like boasting about it, like, you know.
No, I'm not going to mention it at all, page 18. Yeah, take note, it's in writing, expert.
Right, let's go on to something else then.
Yeah.
Apparitions.
Yeah, well, you've been talking to people on Facebook, haven't you, about apparitions?
I have, yeah.
And a
Seen
few
his-
people have actually
A couple.
contacted you, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've all had an experience now with apparitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen a scary one. I seen John getting out of bed when we were on an invest.
When we were on the invest.
You know what?
I did see that half of apparition of a girl, if you remember.
In Galleries of Justice.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to go back years and years later.
Yeah.
But you just expect to see it, but obviously I
Yeah,
didn't.
well, we went back, didn't we?
We
back
did, we tried.
Went
yeah.
back with Axiom.
We did, we
Great
did,
night
yeah.
again, but anyway, the apparitions, I mean, we've just spoken about what we've had, you know, what you've had, Marie, what you've had,
Yeah.
Jonathan, and what I've had. But you put it up, didn't you, on Facebook
did,
about
just
anybody who's had any
anybody.
experiences.
Yeah.
And you've had a couple
I have,
come
yeah.
back to you, so
So, do you ever remember Mike Johnson?
I do.
Was he from Canada?
We
USA?
interviewed Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember him?
And his wife, was it? Was the two of them?
H, was it? I can't
Henry.
remember. Henry. Yeah, was that Mike and Henry, was it?
Is that the same?
It sounds like it, but
Yeah.
yeah, Mike was...
Right, so what Mike's told me,
Mhm.
he said his sister was sitting on a couch, still missing my father, who had recently passed due to an automobile accident. She was watching TV when suddenly her father appeared to her in a full apparition, sitting in a chair not more than 5 feet from her. She was too stunned to speak as he smiled at her and then stood up to walk towards the kitchen. She watched him walk through the kitchen door and disappear into the kitchen. So she leapt from the couch to follow him. She ran into the kitchen only to find an empty room. And he says his sister swore to the truthfulness of that story, even to this time of her passing. So that's, one, that they see, and they've seen him, people see him. And I can say with my own grandmother, before my mum phoned me in the morning to say she passed, and I already said, I know, because I just got woken up in the morning, in the middle of the night, and I looked up, and I just looked over into the corner, and it was as if she was there, sort of thing. And I goes, God bless you, mother. I said, sleep well, rest in peace. You deserve it now, because you go through a lot, and there's all kinds that happen with dementia and what things that happen, and it's a horrible disease. And I just knew. She was there, and then my mum phoned me. I said, I know, Mum. For some reason, I knew.
But it's funny how you know, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
strange,
like something inside you knows. Is it that connection because your family? There's a way of them contacting you like that. I don't know.
Seems to be though, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've heard so many stories like that, though, haven't we? And there's a good example here from Mike.
Yeah.
And you've had another one. Well, you've had a couple, haven't you? Really?
Yeah.
You've had a couple of replies.
Let me just have a look at this one from Simon from Axiom. Yeah. He said, yes, I have whilst investigating on the Orange Tree pub. I was upstairs at the time in the hub area with John, another investigator at the time, and we were sat there for taking 5 minutes when a white lady wearing a white walked past a glass door on the staircase. I looked at John and asked him if he'd seen it, but he didn't. He was facing me at the time, and I jumped straight up and went to see where she went, but couldn't find her anymore. Totally unexplainable, he says. And later on that evening, I heard someone talking downstairs in the bar area. I couldn't help but hear them mention the lady who walked the stairway. That was crazy because I knew I'd just confirmed what I'd seen. So that was from Simon as well. So it's good. I remember when we did the Griffin pub in Earlstown.
Yes,
and
we've done that twice, didn't we?
Yeah, we've
gone. Mark Rosny, we done.
Bless him. Yeah. So we was down there, and as we went into the room where all the pumps are for, I don't know what they are, the kegs are and things like that. Yeah. And as myself and Cheryl was walking past, I just turned around and goes, oh, can you see anything over there to this person? And I went over and I goes, Cheryl, where's that fella gone? There was no fella, so I saw the fella walking straight past in front of me, about 10 foot in front. And I goes like that, Cheryl, where's that fella gone? Because I was asking him a question. And there was nobody there.
I think I'd have been gone.
A couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen one?
Remind me. About that many things happening in the last couple of weeks.
Alan's house.
Oh,
of course.
What a place. Yeah. We were going to talk about Allison's house as well, weren't we? So we might as well feed onto that now.
But you didn't know
about
what you seen.
No.
That's right.
Because what had happened is you had gone to the other end of the orangery. And we went to the other end because you went on again. Marie went off on her own, and Well, look, before we talk about that apparition, when Marie was down there in the orangery, we heard footsteps, and we thought Marie was coming back to us, and Marie thought we were going to her.
Yeah. I thought you was trying to frighten me because I was on my own, so I was expecting you to jump out on me, and I actually say that.
We don't do things like that.
Yes, you do.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I mean that was a phenomenal night. That we went there not expecting anything. We just thought it's an evening out. It's a recording for the show. We get something. Like any other paranormal investigation, you go. You don't know what you're going to get. You might get nothing, or you might get a good night or an average night. But that night was more than average. And what happened then is Marie came back to the group, and they went off on their little mini invest in that part of the orangery.
Yeah.
And we went the other end. And again, we called out and everything else, and then we had that bang near us or something loud.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Then it was rustling.
Yeah.
Couldn't explain it. And then you were to my left. And I turned around to say something to you, and I am 100% certain there was a figure standing there.
Yeah.
In fact, I jumped, didn't I?
You did?
I said more than I shouldn't have said.
You did.
Should have said, well...
I've never heard you swear.
Half a swear I said. I'm still
Yeah.
sticking that it was only half a
I'm
swear.
going to listen
Don't
into
split
that.
3 of your hairs over it, Jamie. It was a swear word.
There was not a swear. I just said for.
Doesn't matter.
Well, we're going to listen
and
into
you-
that and make sure it wasn't just a
I
for
feel like I'm
nothing
in
else.
court here. But,
And see if we've caught you swearing the first time ever I've
it
heard
was
you.
for. That was all I said. I didn't say anything else. But that was 100%. I saw something there, and I didn't know what you, because you said to me, "I'll tell you something later on."
Yeah, I did say I'd leave it till later. I did a little bit of research.
Yeah.
Not too much, just
Yeah.
a little bit, just for the basics. But I didn't tell anyone anything
No,
till the end of the night when we were going home.
that's right.
That's right, yeah.
And then when you told me, and it was in the same spot as what I seen, I
Exactly the
figured
same
that
spot.
that was great confirmation.
Yeah.
But I'd have to go back there tomorrow, mate.
I would.
It was just, but you can't go back
We've
too
gotta do-
early because you can't have Alison Towers 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way up.
You
can you?
can't.
But we're taking the
leave it
cameras
for
this
them.
time.
Definitely taking the cameras,
We've got to
definitely
be.
taking the cat balls, and definitely
Yeah.
taking the REM
And
pods.
the thermal imager.
Oh, yeah.
Because what was the
Yeah.
difference in ice cold to warm and
In
everything?
no time.
Yeah.
And within a click of a switch.
Oh, got grabbed on my arm a couple of times, and
Yeah.
you got it once.
I just got it once as
Yeah.
if it was a thumb mark.
Yeah.
Like a thumb pressing
Yeah.
down. But you got it quite a lot, didn't you?
Yeah,
So it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to do a few more experiments, wouldn't it?
yeah,
Different equipment.
yeah.
See what happens.
Gotta do.
Somebody off on her own again,
Yeah.
because I know none of us will.
No. I'll go with the other end.
Sorry.
With someone else.
Yeah, usually me.
Yeah.
It's just me and you usually, isn't it? We just go
Yeah.
off on our own.
Usually.
Where else have we done? We've done. Where did we go? I went to Shirley Park with James.
Mm-hmm.
James said,
Yeah.
just a quick mention of that one because we heard footsteps coming towards us
did,
in the
yeah.
leaves, the crispy leaves,
Yeah.
and it was
that's
coming
right.
towards us. Wherever we go, we've had something unusual. Now,
Yeah.
I think
But
one
we
of our
d-
top
yeah.
places, I've got to say, Marie, was the Plaza.
Plaza.
You remember the Plaza, John? You fell off the stage.
Ooh. Let's not get into that.
No, we'll be bringing that up on the funny side in a minute, John.
Yeah.
We have to because that was so funny. I wish they'd have filmed it because we could have put it on this.
Mm.
That would have been great. That would have got us really some good views on YouTube, wouldn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Mm.
Yeah, on your
expense.
expense, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my expense.
Yeah.
Tell you what, my bloody knees hurt.
That's your age. I keep telling you that.
I think it was the full football.
Do you
match.
remember what John did afterwards when we was on our next investigation?
Yeah, and bake up theatre.
John Dagger.
Yeah.
That was my idea. We were in work, me and John, and I said to John, have you got any harnesses and that, from the working site? He went, what for? I said, remember Jonathan, telling you about Jonathan falling off the stage at the Plaza? And he went, yeah. I said, bring it along, we'll do a safety talk. So I filmed it. I don't know where the film is.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
brilliant.
I'll find it, don't worry, John.
Your
No,
face,
don't.
just going along with it, stepping it in. just carried on. Oh, it was hilarious.
You didn't expect that at all, did you?
Such is
That was at the Bake Up Theatre,
yeah.
and we all sat there and watched it.
Yeah.
It was
Mhm.
funny. It was funny.
It's more than funny.
Funny for you, yeah?
But we might as well talk about the laughs we've had on the investigations because we've done it on you, Jonathan, haven't we?
Yeah.
We don't need a laugh on investigations, how frightened you get. I mean, Milo only has to stand at the toilet door for you.
I was getting ready to come here to the. I was getting ready to come here to the Pad Cafe,
Yeah.
Pod Cafe. Sorry, Pad Cafe, Pod Cafe, and I said I have to nip the loo. So I went to nip the loo, opened the door, and there's Marla standing there. She was wanting to go to the toilet. Well, I nearly went back to the loo.
Milo was
And
laughing her head
Jesus
off, and I
Christ.
thought, really, is he a paranormal investigator? And the light was on on the landing anyhow. Didn't take much, did it?
No. Well,
She was-
I'll tell you what, you
she
picked
was-
on me. We picked on Jonathan.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
What have I done?
We're a castle.
Oh.
We're a castle, Jonathan.
Oh, yeah.
Honest to God, I've never seen anyone slide down a muddy hill so fast.
Really?
Funny thing was,
Really?
we went
Yeah.
up, honestly, you missed it. It was
I didn't.
hysterical.
Is
It
it
wasn't when I
video
got to the
camera?
bottom line.
No, sorry.
So we went up, and as we got, I'd say, about 10 minutes off the top, it started snowing, didn't it?
Yeah.
And the group of us still went up. Then when we come down, we couldn't find our path down.
Oh, dear.
Snow had covered everything. So we started making our way down, and where we thought it was, we started holding on to the branches and getting ourselves down. And that was great going up, but coming down. And then everybody was just scattered around trying to find an easy way. I found the easiest way, straight on me butt, straight down to the bottom. Jamie goes, I'll catch you. And I goes, don't, because it was just gone.
That's
And I
even
just,
funnier.
honest to God, I just goes, no, like that, straight down. Just stopped at a barbed wire fence. Oh my God. But, we brought it up for years because, it was so funny, wasn't it?
Up, yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was really funny how fast I just went down. I thought, I've got down the quickest. Found the way.
I've got to bring up as well, we go back to, you know, we've done loads of charity events. I think we've raised over 15,000, 20,000 for charities as Ghost Quest Paranormal, which is still going now. We are still going. We've still got to do. We've got a quick flashback to Mill Street Barracks again. And we were doing a Halloween night and Bill was there. We've got to think of Bill, haven't we? You know, late, poor Bill. And he comes in, he's, I'm looking forward to this, Jamie, and everything else. And great and all this. Anyway, we were all sitting around, weren't we, waiting for everyone to turn up and that. We get organised and that, and Bill's fast asleep in his chair. Fast asleep. We go, Bill, we're starting now. Like that, you know, the way he does. Bill, we're starting. Like that. So, you know, just let him sleep it off, and then he'll when he wakes up, he can carry on with us. Did he wake up?
Nope.
No. Everybody, we walked past him many a time. We had our breaks, we were drinking. We'd give him a little nudge now and then, but he was still flat out. The end of the night, we cleared up, everybody gone and everything else, and we had to wake Bill up to take him home and everything. Bill, he went, yeah, I'm coming now. Where are we going first? And I went, Bill, we're finished. The whole night's done.
He slept the whole night on a chair.
Bloody hell, why didn't you wake me? Yeah, we tried. We really tried.
Many a time.
Funny,
That's got to be the classic of all that, hasn't it? We wish he was still here with us now to, you know, because he was one of the big parts of the group, wasn't he? He was a character, wasn't he? Yeah.
Certainly was.
And we had a great laugh with him then. Remember him? What was it? Wepra Park.
Oh, I missed that. I never went that night.
You missed Marie going down the hill at Gwyrich. You missed Bill sliding down the hill on his bum.
Yeah.
And when he got to the bottom, the back of him was just covered in mud from head to toe, right? You turned him round to look at the front of him.
He was perfect.
He was perfect. And guess whose car he went home in? Yours. Yeah. we had to get all these polythene bags and everything and put them all over the chairs and that. But you know what? He took it. I grabbed all of his rucksack to stop him from going any further. Oh, it was so funny. Not for Bill.
No.
And then the other one was Lee Arnold.
That was Wepra Park, wasn't it?
The Wepra Park.
He went down with a bump though.
I was
wasn't
there
he?
that night.
Yeah.
He's as solid as a rock, that fella. He really is. When he went down there, yeah. Solid as a rock, that man. Couldn't believe it. And he is. He's like the Hulk, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
And that's the funny side of our stories. And we've got plenty more.
We've got so many.
I've got to mention now.
What?
Before you change the subject again.
Oh, God.
Am I going to be involved in this?
Yeah.
No, we're going on to the next subject now.
Of all times, right, Mill Street Barracks, he couldn't come out the toilet without looking left or right. Because we frightened him that many times.
He scared us that much, yeah.
The last time I got him, right, he'd come out the toilet and he was going into the bar.
Yeah.
But little did you know, I'd come all the way around.
Without knowing.
Without knowing. And just as he opened the door, I went behind him and shouted, and I've never seen him jump so high in all my life.
Did I shout at you?
I think you did, yeah.
Did he swear?
No.
Probably thought it though.
He had to go back to the toilet though.
Yeah. It's too late for that. But the other one was when we were again there. Remember that somebody brought in one of them dummies and it had like sweeteners on it. It would go like that and look at you.
Oh, yeah.
And we, no matter who walked out that main hall into the hallway, you know, it moved. And I said, well, somebody move that. I said, because I'm not going to survive the night. It was literally every single time I went out. Oh, it was just ridiculous. Yeah. But they're great. It's great fun, isn't it? I think we got you.
Yeah. Got me for what?
I don't think we did. Did we ever get Marie?
No.
Right. that down on the card. That's for us to do now, isn't it?
It has to be something big, though, wouldn't it?
There's a mission we've got to do, Jonathan.
Yeah,
We have to get that mission, don't we?
it's on the list.
No, the funny thing is let's go back to things we've heard and seen. And in our house, a couple of weeks back, I was downstairs at the bottom of the stairs, and Marie was upstairs. I think she's gone to the loo, right?
Can't remember.
Anyway, I shouted up. I went to say something, didn't I? And the next minute, my ear went, Jamie. Get a noise there. And I thought it was me. Said, do you want me? She went, what do you mean, do you want me? So I'm just there, Jamie. I said, no, it's not me. A few days later, Marie was in the same spot. Now, I didn't know she was in the same spot.
And was you in my spot in the bathroom?
No. I usually am. But the thing is, where was I?
You was upstairs.
Was I?
That's what I said.
Was I in the back bedroom doing the computers?
Possibly.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
I was, yeah. And you shouted me, didn't you?
Was he reading a magazine on the living room?
Oh, don't know.
No, I don't read them. I listen to the radio or listen to podcasts.
Yeah, you do. I've heard it many
Too
times.
much info. What's the name? You shouted up, didn't you? Because you thought you heard someone.
Well, I did twice.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a man saying, hello, hello.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was, I just thought, that's strange, because we've never had anything. Well, I'm saying we never had anything. We've had 2 children that walked past when we first moved in saying,
Yeah.
oh, that's the haunted house. And we thought,
no,
what?
we were sitting in the living room.
yeah, so
and
we've had that.
Yeah, they were hanging on the gate when they were looking at the
Yeah.
gate like that. I said, what are they doing? Keep an eye on them like that. And the next minute, one of them said, that's that ghost house there, isn't
Yeah.
it?
But we've not felt anything or anything. But when we had the plasterers in,
Anyone else would have gone, oh my God, I'm not moving in again, huh?
well, we had the plasterers in, didn't they? And they said, do you know we've heard footsteps all the way across? And I said, oh, it'll be next door. Just went off. And we said, we've not heard anything.
No.
Except outside, we do get a lot of knocking on the windows.
Yeah, guess who's just arrived?
Who's that?
Claire.
Running around?
So
Hello.
Claire,
A ghost.
We've got a guest coming on the thing now, and it's
Hello,
Claire.
Claire.
And Claire's one of the owners of PodCafe. We've been told, Claire, it's called PodCafe. I haven't seen you for ages.
Lovely to see you, Jamie. You're okay?
Yeah, last time it was Witness, wasn't it?
I know, it was.
That was a long time ago, yeah. So, God, I can't believe it.
I know. It's got
And this is all yours, a studio, yours and Roy's. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It is.
I've got to say, PodCafe looks amazing.
Yeah,
It's
really
absolutely
good.
incredible. I mean, it would have been nice if Roy would have helped you, wouldn't it?
The only thing we did was get coffees from the free coffee machine.
Well, that's fair enough then, isn't it? What, free coffee machine? So, Claire, we've got you on here now. You didn't expect this, did you?
I didn't,
No. Surprise. Well, it's your studio, so we've got to get somebody on. Roy's behind the counter there. And anything paranormal you've experienced? Anything? We've just been talking about things like that. Oops.
And I'm a massive believer in, and you know, when people say, are you scared of dying and things like that? I'm actually not scared of dying. I'm scared of how I'm going to die.
I think that's, yeah.
I'm more worried about who I leave behind. But there are a few stories. When we did, there was a paranormal event over at the Mask Theatre in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I was expecting my middle girl at the time, but nobody knew. No one knew at all. And there was a lot of activity in this particular building, and there was somebody that came along and he did, a lot of the paranormal works there, and he did a seance with us. He actually brought someone through who recently passed. So we were holding hands, and he brought someone through who passed over, and we were a group that didn't know each other, and this particular individual just burst into tears because it was her friend.
Oh, wow.
So he described how the passing happened, and she was like, well, that's exactly what happened. Anyway, long story short, I was sat on some stairs, and we all took an individual space ourselves, and we said, let's see what we try and find. Yeah. If we come across anything, if we see anything. I was just taking random pictures, hoping something would pop up. And then at the end of it, he said, I know about you. I was like, oh God, what do you mean, about me? Here's all my secrets coming out now.
Here's the blackmail.
He said, you're expecting. He said, you were sat on the stairs and I could see a fetus above your head. And I was like, oh my word.
And did you know you were expecting them?
I did.
Yeah.
But it was literally just a few weeks in.
So you wasn't even
So you
shown.
wasn't,
it was
No.
you
just-
didn't
yeah.
tell anybody at that
I was a lot
time,
slimmer
or
then
anything?
than what I am now. And yeah, you just couldn't see it and no one knew. So that was that. And then when my granddad passed away, he was like a dad to me. My granddad, my nan and granddad were both like my parents. And my granddad passed away. And then a couple of months later, my nan died. Broken heart. Literally a broken heart. And my nan, because we're Catholics and we bring our family home and we get the priest and things. And my cousin collapsed and we brought her and we're like, what's the matter? And she said, well, I've just seen my granddad standing over my nan. And we thought, oh, you know, what have you, maybe it's a little bit of emotional thing. People just, not that you want to disbelieve, but you just think, is she, you know, there's a lot of grief. And then my Auntie May, who is a complete disbeliever of everything, she just thinks we're here and we go, that's that. So my Auntie Lily told my Auntie May about what my cousin had seen, and she said, that's a completely believer. And my Auntie Lily said, what? This is not like you. You're the first person that I would think of to say, no chance. And she says, well, I've not told anyone. She said, but when I'd seen my mum, when my nan passed away, she was in bed in a bedroom. And we were all going up to see her. And when she got to the top of the stairs, she looked down and she saw my nan, my granddad and a little boy. And we think the little boy may have been Billy, who passed away as a baby.
Right.
But she's seen the three of them just looking up at her. So she's the biggest non-believer of everything that you could think of. She just thinks you come into the world, you go, and you're done.
That's it.
Ashes to ashes and you're gone. So yeah.
It's funny because we were talking about that on one of the shows, weren't we? Do your family come to greet you as you pass?
Yeah,
I think they do.
I do, yeah.
definitely.
And that confirms it because you didn't know anything about what we've talked about or anything like that. And that's quite good evidence.
Like you say, there's people who believe and people who don't. And you don't till you see it yourself, or you hear someone who you really depend on. You know, they wouldn't say come up with some telltales and things like that.
Yeah, complete non-believer. I think that's a topic again, isn't it, for another show maybe?
Yeah,
definitely.
We've actually used that
You'll have
one
to come
up.
on that one. Yeah.
I'd love to.
And we want to get Roy on, but Roy likes being behind the scene.
Not on this one. We'll scare the life out of him.
Yeah.
But we'll get that booked in.
Yeah, we'll get him.
We'll
He usually misses everything though because he has his back to it.
Just throw something at him, we'll be all right.
Yeah. So we haven't got long to go now neither. How quick is that time gone?
Yeah.
And
It does.
we grabbed you in before we finished as
I'm made
well,
up to
because-
see you all, yeah.
Well, you've got before we go though. You've got to tell us a little bit about this room and how people can hire it, because we know you can hire this room.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, obviously
Fantastic.
there's a video being going
Absolutely
on there.
fantastic.
Just
There's a lot of
where's the
technology.
cameras?
There's a lot of tech,
Right.
but we wanted to make it special. We didn't want it to just be, you turn up and you just sit in front of a mic, which, okay, a lot of people want to do, but we wanted to give it an extra special touch. We wanted it to be like a studio and make people feel professional in the surroundings, and that's what we wanted.
Well, to me, it looks like I feel like royalty. I absolutely feel like royalty. It's absolutely spectacular what you've done in here.
Yes, it's
No, we walked in
wonderful.
and we just took it. It's just like, wow.
I knew Jamie would love it since, because I walked in first and I thought, he's going to love this.
I just want a bedroom next door. And I think
That'd do you from there to there.
But looking at this, I'm looking at the setup, and I personally think this is going to be a success, and it's
thank
just
you.
superb. And we'll definitely be coming back to it.
Amazing.
We absolutely love it.
You'll
You've
keep
done a
me and Roy in
fantastic-
line.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Marie keeps me in line. I need Marie to that. But no, it's amazing you've done it. And it's called Pod Cafe.
Cafe, yeah.
I keep calling it Pod Cafe. Why?
I don't know.
And the idea is for us to all have a cup of coffee. So I'm going to tell Roy off, because we should be sat here with a nice cup of coffee
I keep licking me
in
lip.
our cafe.
I keep licking me lip. So I'm
we
dry.
kept hinting,
Well,
by doing
dry.
this.
See, he's no cameraman, is he?
Well, he's an amazing person, but not for giving out drinks or anything like that. Well, he did get Marie one. So,
Oh, you did, yeah?
Yeah, he's got Marie one, but me and you
Only
just...
because he asked and he had no change on
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
It wouldn't take.
But no, we've got to thank you, Claire, and we've got to thank Roy as well.
Yeah.
for inviting us down. To be the very
Anytime,
first,
yeah.
the very first people ever to do a podcast here at
Privilege.
PodCafe.
Yeah. And I
it's
can
only in
tell you,
speak.
I'll be listening to you on yours because anything to do with paranormal, I love listening to. And you know where we are? We're in Hunts Cross Speak. Come along anytime.
Yeah, fantastic. And other people can hire this.
They can hire it just as a standalone. They can hire it without video, with video. A lot of people just like voice, don't they? Not a lot of people are happy being in front of. There's so many options, and we cater for everyone.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
brilliant,
we're
isn't
still
it?
in awe of it, and we'll be talking about this, even not when we go back onto our podcast. I mean, when we go back to ours, I mean, this we can't beat it, can we?
No.
You know,
Absolutely fantastic.
yeah.
So you're going to do superb here.
how did they get in touch with you?
So our social medias are up and running, and we've also got our email address, which is podcafeaccess at outlook.co.uk, outlook.co.uk, outlook.com. Com, I've just been told. But yeah, so there's going to be a lot of social media within the next week or two, just lots of stuff getting out there. So yeah.
So check it out.
On behalf of us and Access Paranormal and
you
our
so
group Ghost
much.
Quest, we really appreciate you letting us come in
you're
tonight and do
welcome.
an actual podcast.
I
I feel
A real
you know,
podcast,
I feel,
yeah.
I even brushed my
And
hair
you've
for it.
behaved yourself as well.
My
haven't you?
strand of hair I brushed for it.
Yeah, you did.
But we better let them go because, I mean, the poor people want to go home, don't they?
I know.
So, on behalf of our PodCafe, I will get it right one day. PodCafe, thank you so much for letting us use your studio. And thanks to that fella in the corner there,
You're welcome.
Is that the one?
Jonathan Sullivan, and for my partner in crime, Marie, for coming in tonight and having a bit of fun, and especially for Claire for unexpectedly being dragged in as well.
Wonderful to
Appreciate
meet
it.
you.
It's lovely to meet
And
you
we've
as
got to
well.
say thanks, and we can't even turn the camera around for Roy,
Thanks,
can we?
Roy.
Yeah.
So yeah, Roy, thanks very much for bringing us along tonight. And if everybody's enjoyed it, please subscribe to us, and I'm sure you'll be having it.
I'll be subscribing, don't worry.
And I'm sure you will have a YouTube channel soon as well.
Oh, there's lots of things going on at the
Brilliant.
moment.
Exciting.
Just keep
Yeah.
us up informed. We'll keep
Absolutely.
mentioning it. So from Access Paranormal, from Marie, Jonathan, Claire, Roy, and myself, Jamie, we'll see you soon. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.